Hello friends and welcome. In this video, we are going to see series of doctrine. In this series, there are three doctrine. Number one, doctrine of ultra vires. Number two, doctrine of constructive notice. And number three, doctrine of indoor management. So let's understand one by one. So what is doctrine of ultra vires? So what is doctrine? Doctrine means a theory, and here ultra means beyond and bias means power. So beyond the power, theory about beyond the power. So this doctrine is related to the memorandum of association, means any act which is beyond the power of memorandum of association, this act will be called as a doctrine of ultra vires. So memorandum of association has set the framework of a company's power. So company cannot go beyond that power. If board of directors or member of the company goes beyond that power, that act will be called as a ultra vires act. In a company, there are four players or there are four factors which are bound to each other and very much important. Number one, directors. Here, directors are bound to the articles of association, because in articles of association there are rules and regulations for internal affairs and or internal management. So directors who manage a company, they are bound to the articles of association, and articles of association is bound to the memorandum of association, because articles cannot contravene the memorandum of association, and memorandum of association is bound to the company act. Company act is the top level. So company memorandum of association cannot go beyond the company act. So here, if any act which is beyond the power of a memorandum of association or company act, that act will be called as an ultra vires act. Articles here, why it's so? Because articles of association can be ratified retrospectively, but memorandum of association cannot. To ratify memorandum of association, a lot of permission, a lot of procedure is required. Next point. Now here, while understanding the doctrine of ultra vires, we should understand which act will be called as an ultra vires. Number one, the act which is not permitted by the company act. Any act which is not permitted by the company act will be called as a ultra vires act. And number two, if that act fails to match with the object clause of the memorandum of association, so this act will be called as a doctrine of ultra vires. So what will be the effect of ultra vires act? It will be a void and has no legal effect. Next, no party or company is bound. So if there is a contract uh, happened between company and any outsiders, so which is beyond the power of a company, it means ultra vires act. So in this case, both the parties will have no legal bound. They will be no bound to each other to complete that contract. So no party or company is bound. So here we talked about ultra vires act. It means the act which is beyond the company's power. That act will be called as ultra vires act, and ultra vires act will have no legal effect. No party will be bound to complete that contract or that act. Now there is a second doctrine in this series, and that series is called as a doctrine of constructive notice. Here, constructive word is taken as a presumption or assumption. It means here it is understood that public documents, which are the those are the documents which are the public documents, are read by the outsiders before entering in a contract with the company. So which are the documents are the public documents? The two documents, the memorandum and articles of association. These two documents are the public documents, and it is presumed that any outsiders who is entering in a contract with the company, that person has a read these two documents, and this presumption is called as a doctrine of constructive notice. It means company need not to tell the outsiders whether they have read these documents or not, whether they know, whether they aware of these documents or not. It is assumed, it is assumed that they outsiders, they are aware of the memorandum of association and articles of association. This doctrine is in the favor of a company. It protects the company from the outsiders. So, as per the section 399, Memorandum of Association and Articles of Association are public documents, and it is a presumed that outsiders are aware of the both these documents, and outsiders cannot claim that they did not know the provisions. If they enter in a contract which is contravention, they cannot be enforced the contract. Now, case study. Now we will understand the case study. Now here one case study between Kotla Venkataswamy and Ramamurthy. In this case study, what happened that in a company article, it was written that to issue any documents, it requires three signatures. Signatures. That person were managing director, working director, and company director. Now company wanted to take a loan from bank. Company wanted to take a loan, and they sign they gave a mortgage, and they prepare a mortgage deed. That mortgage deed was signed by a two-person. It was working director and company director. Managing director did not sign on that mortgage deed, but that bank was unaware, that party loan giver was unaware of that fact, that in articles of association of a company has written that signatures will be three signatures will be there on every document which is issued by the company, and they gave a loan. Now after a certain period, the company went into liquidation. Now what happened? That party comes and tell them that your company now is liquidated, and you have given us a property as a mortgage. Now give us that property because you are unable to repay our loan. Now company told them about doctrine of constructive notice. They told that money loan giver that as per Articles of Association, it was required signatures on any documents which is issued by a company. Now, the mortgage deed was issued by a company, and it was signed by only two persons, that is, working director and company secretary. Managing director did not sign. Now, here it was clear that the complainant cannot force the contract as the deed was invalid, because only two signatures were there, and as per articles of association, three signatures are required. So this act or this contract will be invalid or void. So company will not bound to complete this contract. Company will not give their property to the uh, lenders. So that was the legendary case study on doctrine of constructive notice. Okay, so that constructive notice was in the favor of a company. Now, in this series of doctrine, this is the last doctrine, which is doctrine of indoor management. Now let's understood doctrine of indoor management. So what is doctrine of indoor management? According to this doctrine, person dealing with the company need not to inquire whether internal proceedings relating to the contract are followed correctly once they are satisfied that the transaction is in accordance with the memorandum and articles of association. So here, uh, outsiders need not to inquire in a company whether their internal affairs, internal management running smoothly or not. They should assume that everything in a company are fine, and everything running smoothly in internal affairs. So this doctrine is in the favor of outsiders. This doctrine is in the favor of outsiders to protect innocent outsiders. So this doctrine indoor management is created as an exception to the doctrine of constructive notice. In the favor of outsiders, as I said, in the favor of outsiders, presumption in the favor of outsiders. It is presumed by the outsiders. In previous doctrine, it was assumed by the company. In this doctrine, it is assumed by the outsiders. Now, this purpose of the doctrine. Outsiders are aware of memorandum of association and articles of association, but they are not aware of annual general meeting and general meeting. It means what is happening in company's internal affairs. The outsiders are unaware of that fact. Outsiders are unaware of internal management and they are not required to inquire into company's internal management. They presume that everything is fine in a company's internal affairs. Outsiders are entitled to presume that internal affairs of the company are regular as per provisions of company's memorandum of association and articles of association. This doctrine protects outsiders from the irregularities of the company. So, in this doctrine of indoor management, again there is another legendary case studies, that was Royal British Bank versus Turquoise, and that's why it is also called as a Turquoise law, Turquoise rule. So, question may ask in your exams that doctrine of indoor management is also called as uh, dash, that is Turquoise rule. In this case study, what had happened that in a company's article of association, it was written that directors can borrow money on behalf of company by passing a special resolution. Now, director went to the bank, they gave their resolution, and they uh, took a loan from the bank. But and obviously outsiders don't know about the fact whether what they have done in behind the curtain, and they gave the loan. Now what had happened that the directors did not pass a special resolution, and later on these facts revealed in company's annual general meeting. In the shareholders did not allow directors to continue with this loan, and uh, this fact came into focus that directors did not pass a special resolution, and without passing special resolution, cannot take a loan from the banks. So in this case, outsiders cannot be a victim of such irregularities, because here outsiders are not required to look into the internal management, internal affairs of the company, whether they have passed special resolution or not. It was company's duty was to look up to all the documents, whether they are up to the mark or not, and give the loan. So in this case, company will be held liable, and they will be enforced the contracts. So that was the legendary case study, between Royal British Bank and Turquoise rules. Now, this doctrine of indoor management has some exceptions. And what are the exceptions? Number one, knowledge of irregularities. If any person, in this case, outsider, has actual knowledge of irregularities within the company, they will not be uh, they will not be able to take benefit of doctrine of indoor management. Negligency, because of the negligence attitude or negligence behavior of the outsiders, they become a victim. In this case, they will not be able to take benefit of doctrine of indoor management. Then forgery. Now what is forgery? Forgery means, suppose take example of share certificate. So company issues share certificates to everyone, and it is every share certificate there is signature of managing director, working director, and company secretary. Now what happens uh, if company secretary uh, issue the certificates without telling the this information to the managing director and working directors. He signed himself for himself, and he also signed uh, managing directors and for working directors. In this act will be called as a forgery act. So such kinds of act will be the exception to the doctrine of indoor management. Next, ultra vires. As we know that the any ultra vires activities are exception to the doctrine of indoor management. So now we have seen three doctrine. Number one, doctrine of ultra vires. Number two, doctrine of constructive notice, and number three, doctrine of indoor management. Doctrine of ultra vires means the act which is beyond the power of a memorandum of association. That act will be called as a ultra vires act. Doctrine of constructive notice means that doctrine is in the favor of a company, and company assumes that memorandum of association and articles of association are read by the outsiders before entering in a contract with the company, and in that case company will not be a liable. Doctrine of indoor management is the exception to the doctrine of constructive notice. This indoor doctrine of indoor management is in the favor of outsiders, and here outsiders will assume that everything in internal management of a company is fine, regular, and there is no need to make an inquiry about internal affairs of the company. So this is all about three doctrine series of doctrine. uh, Questions is asked on this doctrine. So this is for all the doctrine. uh, Thank you so much.